All right. Hello, everyone, whoever is watching this now. We do have some people in the class with us, and then we also have a live broadcast on Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook and you want to join the actual live class, you can do so. I'm going to post it on Facebook, the meeting, so that anyone who wants to join on Facebook can do that. Or you can just watch on Facebook too. You can just watch there. But if you want to be able to ask questions and actually kind of participate, you'll need to be a part of the actual Zoom call. So totally up to you, whoever's watching. But I'm going to post it right now on Facebook. Give me just a moment to do that, and then we'll get started. And I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I hope you find this informative. So I'm putting the Zoom information right now into Facebook. Okay, there it is. Great. Okay, again, thank you for joining us today for this class. This is job search and resume writing. We're going to spend half the time looking at some great ways to do job searching, and then we'll spend some time talking about some great resources for doing resume writing. And so we're going to start by doing the job search aspect. I'm going to be sharing my screen with whoever is watching. So just pay attention to where I take you and what I show you. Again, if you have questions, you can either turn on your audio and ask me through audio, or you can always type it in the chat, and I'll be happy to get it there. If you're watching on Facebook, and if you have questions that you want to ask, you'll need to direct them towards the chat, or I can get it from you later on through Facebook. So it's a lot easier if you're in the live portion with me. But we'll do the best we can. So, are there any questions before we get started? Okay, let's go ahead and get started then. Let me share my screen. We're going to start by going on the internet, and we're going to just do a simple search. Now, whatever browser you have is going to work just fine. I typically use Firefox. That's just personal preference, but whether you're on a Google Chrome browser or Firefox browser or even Microsoft Edge, you just want to go to the search area where you can search the web. And then what we're going to do is start off by going to a great website. It's called elportal.nm. It's a website that is produced by the State Library of New Mexico. You can also find El Portal by going to the library's website at ofpl.online, and it's one of the resources that we have available for you. However you get there, again, it's called El Portal. And a lot of what we're actually going to work on today can be found here. It's a great resource. It is free. Anybody who lives in New Mexico has access to this. So you can come here anytime you want. There's a lot of great resources. And the way we find what we're looking for is on the website. Once you get there, you're going to click on the button that says All Resources. It's right here in the upper right-hand corner. And then once we click on that, we get the list of all the different resources that are available to us on this website. Normally, this website is for people who are trying to do research. You can come here and find a lot of great articles and things for research, but it also has this great area, when you scroll down a little further, called Brain Fuse Job Now. So we're going to click on Brain Fuse Job Now. Okay. So on the Job Now site, you'll notice that there are some sections that we have at the bottom. Three big sections. There's the resume section, the job interview section, and the career section. Now, I'm going to just talk to you briefly about what all these things are here for, why they're here, and then we're going to do our job search. So first, let's look at the career section, which is on the right-hand side. If you're having trouble with the whole job thing because maybe you're not sure what you want to do, maybe you're trying to find a new career, whatever the case is, whether you're starting from the beginning or you're starting over, the career section is going to be a great place for you to check out. The reason for that is the first thing here, which is a live job coach. This is a live person that you can chat with over the internet who will help guide you through whatever process you need. Maybe you don't know where to begin. They can kind of get you started, point you in the right directions, and move you along. Think of them just like you would a coach. So sometimes, like in sports, you need a coach to push you in the right direction when you're making mistakes to, help correct those mistakes. And that's basically what a live job coach is going to do for you. To access the live chat, you will need to create a login. There's a blue login button here. It'll ask you a few simple questions to create your account. You'll need to enter an email address, create a password, and really that's pretty much it. It'll create your account. You can update your profile and put as much or as little information as you want once you have that created, but you will need to create a login in order to use the live help. Now, besides the live job coach, which I think is just super valuable, we also have a career assessments, job resources, learn now, and e-parachute. I'm going to jump us down to the e-parachute for just a moment. Now, again, you will have to have your login and information like that to sign in here. But what eParachute is going to give you is a chance to find out what kinds of things you like and are interested in. So maybe you are new to the job market after years of being out of it, and you're not even sure if you know what you're interested in right now. So you can use the eParachute, answer a series of questions, and based on those questions, it'll and your answers to those questions, it'll give you a list of potential careers and jobs that you might be interested in. It breaks it down into categories like you'd be interested in criminal justice, and then here are some criminal justice jobs that would fit into your profile. So it's a really great way to just explore and see what new horizons might be open to you. Maybe some things you never even thought of before. But again, to access it, you do have to have your account created so that you can get into it. But it's definitely worth it. The questions take about 15-20 minutes to get through, and then you have a whole list of resources after that. And not only does it tell you what careers you'd be interested in, but it'll also go into what kind of training you might need for those careers and even help you find places that might offer that training. So it's a really good, step-by-step thing that you can get into. I'm going to hit the back arrow. Now, let's say you're excited, you definitely want to get into a new career, but maybe you're having some skill issues. Maybe you've forgotten some things, or you want to brush up on some learning. Maybe you need to go back to college and you're not sure if you're quite ready for that. So the Learn Now, if you click on Learn Now, gives you some special training to actually help you with that. They have it broken down by the different levels. There's high school equivalency tests in case you need to work on a GED or something equivalent, college entrance tests, some college work placement tests, ASVAB, there's computer and technology training, all kinds of different things that are here for you to go through and just kind of refresh yourself. Let's say like on the computers and technology, for example. I'm going to click on it and open it up, and it's going to give me a listing of the different courses that they have available. Now, when I say course, it's not like a full course, like, this is a course. It's more like read and go at your own pace, kind of. Really short lessons, like a page of reading something, and then some practice things for you to do at the bottom. Definitely great for people who don't have a lot of time to put into this, but you still want to make sure that you have the skills that you need. So I would definitely check this out when you get a chance. Okay, under the job resources, it gives you some websites that will connect you to some bigger resources across the internet that might help you in your search for jobs or in your quest to find a new career. For example, under the nationwide resources, gives us links to some of the great job hunting websites that I would definitely recommend using. It also gives you some other things like if you're a college grad and you're looking for jobs, there's College Grad Job Hunter. There's some resources for veterans. So if you're a veteran and you need some extra help, there's a lot of things here for you. So just some really great resources that are free for you to use anytime you want. And we're going to go back to the main screen. Now, career assessments are links to some of those sites, just like the one I was telling you about, the eParachute. These are some others that are available on the internet. Career aptitude tests, just things that you can look into in case you really aren't sure what's going to be a good fit for you. Now, you might be in the position where I just need a job, I don't care what job, so maybe you might not need to go through an assessment to figure it out. Maybe you just want to find what's available, and that's okay. But if you're looking for a career, if you really want to find something that you want to put a lot of time and energy into, it's definitely worthwhile to go and check out one of these tests and see what's going to be interesting to you. Because your personality and the things that you like, those are all going to fit together and help you find a career that is going to utilize those skills, those strengths that you have. And so these will help you find out what those are. Okay, the other two sections we'll talk a lot more about later, but there is a job interview section with, again, a live interview coach, someone to talk to, bounce off of questions, get advice. Some of us, we kind of panic when it comes to interviews, so this is a good place to go just to get that little bit of practice in, shake off the cold feet and the other things that happen when it comes time to go and do the interview. And then we have also this full section on resume. So we will come back to this for the second part of the course. All right, Now, when it's time to actually do the job hunt, now we're going to search for a job. There's a few options that you have. We have this job search that they've built into El Portal for us right here. And it works just like any other job hunting site you might have ever been on. You're just going to click, type in what kind of job you're looking for, and then where you want to look. So if you want to look for something local here in town, you could type in Gallup, New Mexico. You could just type in our zip code, and then it'll do a search. So we're going to go ahead and do that just to see what it looks like. So let's say you need to find a job. Maybe you want to be a clerk. There's always a need for clerks. And you want to look for a clerk job here in Gallup. So I'm going to put in the zip code. So I've defined what job I'm looking for. I'm being specific. I put in where I want to look for it. And keep in mind that it doesn't just look directly in town. It will search the area, and you can determine how wide you want that search to be. Default's usually about 25 miles within the area you choose. You can always shrink that down if you want, or expand that to be greater. Up to you. But let's go ahead and hit that search and see where it takes us. So when it does that job search through El Portal, it's actually utilizing Indeed. And you can see that up in the left-hand corner here. So if you don't feel like going to El Portal, you can always just go straight to Indeed.com. And honestly, that is not a bad site to use when doing a job search here in Gallup. A lot of the places in town tend to put their openings on Indeed. Which brings me to my next point. Often when we're doing the job search, we sometimes end up shortchanging ourselves because we don't really understand what's happening here. When a business decides that they have a job that's available and they want to put it out there and see if they can get people to apply for it, that business has to come to these sites and post their job. So they come to Indeed, they go to monster.com, they go to Career Builder, and then they create their business profile and post the job. And then that job becomes available for you to see. What that means is if the business does not go to, say, monster.com and promote their opening, it's not going to show up on that site. So it'll only show up on the sites that they choose to promote it on. So when I say most of the businesses here in town like to use Indeed, that's what I've noticed from experience, that a lot of the items that show up on Indeed tend to show up more here than they do on any of the other job hunting sites. Now, that doesn't mean that you should just come to Indeed and skip the others. If you really want to maximize your job search, you should hit the big ones. Now, again, think about that. There are so many job hunting websites on the internet. It's really easy to just, type in, I want to find a job, and then have like a whole list of just all these job hunting websites. Do you think a business is going to take the time to go through every single one of those and make a post? Think about that for a second. If you're a business owner, do you have time to go through all those websites and make a post? The answer is no, you most likely don't. So typically a business is going to use the one that's going to get the most turnaround. And so they're going to go to the bigger sites like Indeed, like Monster, like Career Builder. So you want to hit the bigger sites when you're doing a job search. And try to avoid the ones that you have never heard of before, because if you've never heard of it, it's likely that the person who's hiring has never heard of it. And so you might just be wasting your time on those other sites. But, maximize it. If you're not having any luck, then go to another one. If you're not having any luck, go to another one, and, keep checking them. And then there's another way to go through this too, and I'll show you that in just a moment. Let's just take a quick look at what is happening on our screen. So what we're looking for is showing up here up top, because that's what we typed in. Where is where we want the job, where we want to apply for it. So underneath that, we have these filters. Now, like I said, it's usually going to search within 25 miles of whatever you choose. You can change that to being a lot smaller or even a lot bigger, but 25 is kind of the in between. So it depends on you whether or not you have transportation to travel 25 miles out of town or not. You might want to change it to within 5 miles. You can also organize this by when it was posted, the salary, if you want to specify how much you want to get paid, what type of job, is it full-time, part-time, contract, temporary, of course where, Gallup, Window Rock, and Church Rock are the ones that showed up for this search. It'll show you what companies are hiring if you want to look for a specific company, and then experience level that's required. Typically what you'll see here is that they're all going to be entry level most of the time. The hits that you get from your search will appear here, and it gives you just a quick description of what the job is and where it is. And you can always look through these, and then when you find one that you think is going to work out for you, you can click on it and it will take you there. So let's say, for example, working in the bakery department at Safeway sounds like a really great idea to you. So you can click on it so you can see more. On the right hand side now, it's going to show you all the details that they have posted for this job. One thing that you want to keep in mind whenever you're doing a job hunt is pay attention to how many days ago that this came out. So this was posted over a month ago. That either means one of two things. Either means one, this is like a recurring position that they are always hiring for, so they just leave it up. Or two, they posted it a month ago and they probably have filled it since then and just haven't had a chance to come and remove it. So think about that when you're looking at how long ago this job was posted. Definitely, if you see something like this was posted 5 days ago, that's an active job. You definitely want to jump in and apply for that. If it's over 30 days like this one, wouldn't be a bad idea to just call and see if they still are hiring, or apply anyway, because sometimes they'll just store applications, and then when a position comes up, they'll come across your application and let you know that, hey, we do have this opening. Are you still interested? Okay, so once you have looked through and found the one you want to apply for, so we'll just stick with this one for right now. The next decision you have to make is, how are you going to apply for this? Now, I don't mean that you have an option of doing it in person or online. Just about everything is going to be done online, especially right now. What I do mean, though, is, are they giving you an option to apply directly with the company on their website, or is it a secondary application? That happens a lot when you're applying online, and it can really throw people off sometimes. The biggest frustrations that I've heard from people is not being able to find the application on the website. So we're going to click on this where it says apply on company site and see if it actually takes us there. All right, this is the actual company site. You can see all of the company logos listed up here that use this site, and I've actually seen it many times, so I can attest to the authenticity that this is the actual website. There you'll see the position again, and you will see the description just as we saw it on Indeed. And then you get to go in and start the process of getting to apply. So in this case, we have to choose location. If you want to allow the GPS on your computer to do it for you, feel free. I'm just going to say no right now. On this side now, on the right-hand side, I'm going to put in the zip code again. Yes, it is Gallup. And notice that, there we go. So I clicked on that, there's the store. Here's the button that says apply. So when I click on that, I now have the option of I'm signing in so that I can fill out the application. That's good. That's what we want. We want to be able to sign in, fill out an application. One of the main reasons why it's okay to sign in to fill out an application, especially if you're on the company website, is because it will save your information. And if other jobs within this company open up, you can jump right in with your application and just update it and not have to do a whole new one every single time. So it saves your main information, gives you a chance to update it, and then apply for multiple jobs. So that's definitely a big plus. And this one gives you a few different ways to sign in. If you have a Yahoo account, a Gmail account, Facebook, or LinkedIn, you can use those to sign in if you want, or you can create a unique login with this site using your email address and creating a password just for this website. It doesn't matter which one you choose. You're going to be okay either way. Just make sure you get signed in, and then it will take you right to the application, and then just fill it out and you're good to go. Okay, so that's one way to do this. Now I'm going to show you something a little bit different. Now remember, I've said Indeed, good website to use, Monster, Career Builder, those are just a few of the ones that I push all the time because I've had a lot of success with those. But you have to check multiple sites. That can be kind of a problem, especially if you're short on time. What if there was a way to kind of do a big search, but just one time? There is. We're going to, instead of being on Indeed, we're going to go over to Google. So we're just going to type in google.com, and we're going to do a Google search. Now, to do this Google search, you do have to put in some specific things. Most people, when they are job hunting and they go to Google, they just type in, I want to find a job, and then they type the name of the jobs and hope that things pop up. If you put in the formula I'm going to show you, it will take you to Google's specific job hunting website. And believe me, this is going to be a lifesaver when it comes to doing job searching. So in the search, you are going to type, we'll do the same one that we did last time. So I'm going to type in clerk, because that's what we're looking for. And I'm going to add this phrase, jobs near me. Again, the job that you're looking for goes first, whatever it is, clerk, supervisor, medical assistant, whatever it happens to be. You put the name of the job first, then you add the phrase, jobs near me. Okay? Once you put that in and you hit enter, I bet in your searches you haven't ever come across this little box before unless you put in that phrase. This is Google's job hunting site. Right now it's just kind of showing us a little preview. But if we click where it says 29 more jobs here in the bottom left-hand corner, it will take us to the official Google site for job hunting. And you'll notice that the whole page now looks a little bit different. This is Google's job search page. On the left-hand side, and it's going to look very similar to our Indeed search, all the different jobs that are available in our area are going to pop up there. And then the description will be on the main screen, as well as the opportunity to apply for these positions. Just like using Indeed or any of the other sites, you can filter it by these different things. So if you're looking for a specific job title, you can filter by that. Location, when it was posted, sound familiar? The type of job, part-time, full-time, temporary. By the company, by the employer, or in this case also by the state. There's also these little mini categories if you want to search for that, but then in this field of or in this area, like sales and retail, or maybe you want to be a clerk in education, like working for the school district. So, or maybe you want to be a clerk at a hotel. I mean, there's different types of clerks out there. But point is, you have a lot of control over how to filter this down. But there's a lot more. Hang tight. It's just getting good. As you can see on the left-hand side here, we're seeing a lot of those jobs that we saw on Indeed. We're also seeing a lot more jobs that weren't showing up on Indeed. There's the courtesy clerk for Safeway. The reason we're seeing more is because Google is doing a search just like it does for anything else that we want, but it's specifically bringing back anything that has on the internet listed as a job. And that's why our list is so much bigger. It's almost like doing a search of everything. Now, it's not perfect. It's not going to get 100% everything out there. But if you do this search first, you're more likely to find most of what's available than if you just start going to Indeed and then going to Career Builder and etc. Start with this, find what you can, then start going into the individual websites. And trust me, it'll be so much easier because most of what you're going to want is probably going to be right here anyway. So we're going to pick one of these jobs to take a look at. Okay, here's an assistant manager over at Hibbett Sports. So I click on it, and then it shows up on my main screen. Gives me an overview. Also has, stars and stuff to tell you about it. Now, these blue buttons here on top, these are options for you to use for applying for this job. Sometimes these are good to use, sometimes they're not. I am never fond of using a third party to get access to an application. If Hibbett Sports is hiring, you should be able to apply through Hibbett Sports. When I look at these extras, I feel like it's telling me, yeah, there's a job at Hibbett Sports, but you need to apply over at City Hall for this job first, which makes no sense. I mean, that's not really what happens, but I'm just saying, it's like, why would I need to go through a third party to get to the first party? You don't. So if you want to use these, feel free. It's totally up to you. I prefer to go down a little bit further, and down here you'll see hibbett.com. That's their actual website. So if I click on that, it will take me to their website specifically. Now, a lot of people get tripped up here because what's the main purpose of a website? To sell you some sort of product. In this case, Hibbett's products. If you go to Walmart, they're trying to sell you their products. If you go to a food website, they're trying to sell you their food. So don't let that trip you up. What you want to do is go straight down to the very bottom of the page. So go down, 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 down as far as you can go. When you get to the very bottom of the page, you will see this corporate section. And every website has some sort of corporate section. Sometimes it's called About Us, sometimes it's called Corporate, sometimes it's called Careers. Whatever it might be, find that section at the bottom of the website and then look for the one thing that says Careers or Job Opportunities. Different wording sometimes. So I'm going to click on it. And now I have been moved to Hibbit's career page. And this is where I can actually go find jobs and apply for them. So let's say I want to work in retail, because that's the job that would be open here. We don't have a warehouse or anything. So I just answer their simple questions. Looking for Gallup, New Mexico. Dun, 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 dun. There, Gallup, New Mexico. Okay, so we're going to search. Just it wants the state, so we'll just put in the state. Dun, dun, dun. Mexico, Gallup. There we go. Sometimes you have to work within those websites. They can be a little troublesome sometimes, but not to worry. All right, so there's the store manager, manager in training. There's the assistant manager, a sales lead. Okay, I'm going to click on sales lead here. Here's the overview of the job. Here's the apply now button. I can click on that. It'll take me right to their application. I don't have to worry about going through ZipRecruiter or Glassdoor or any of these other third-party websites. Now, it's not bad to go through a third party, but you got to remember that if people are on the internet to make money, sites like even like Indeed and Career Builder and ZipRecruiter, they still have to make money somehow because the site doesn't pay for itself. It doesn't just exist. So the way they make money is by having information given to third parties that then are able to sell things to you. It's really complicated, but just know that when you go through something like Glassdoor to apply, part of that deal is that they're getting some of that information that you're giving them and then selling it to other parties, and that's how you end up with phone calls about trips to Jamaica and other things that you probably don't want. So the more you can go through the actual company and cut out the middleman, the better. That, and I always am a fan of not going through a middleman because I never know if the middleman's actually going to send it where it needs to go, right? So yeah, cut out the middleman whenever you can. All right, we're going to go back to our Google search. So you might have to go back a few steps, but what we've seen so far is the jobs that are available here, showing up on our main screen here, giving us the chance to go and apply. What if you're looking at jobs, you see some that you might be interested in, but you're not quite ready to commit and fill out the application yet? Maybe you want to check into some things first, but you don't want to have to redo this again. Well, the great thing about using Google is that they have this wonderful save option. All these positions have this little flag. It's like a bookmark. So when you click on it, it will save it for you so that you can come back to it later. And the best part about this, most of us already have Gmail or Google accounts. This is going to connect to that. We don't have to create a whole new login or anything. We just sign in like we would to our Gmail, and then it'll allow us to save any of these things from our search that we want to. Then, if you'll look here on the upper portion of the middle of the screen, there's a section for saved. When you save jobs here, they will all appear here. So as long as you're signed into your Gmail, you can just access this from anywhere you want, anytime, and all your saved jobs will be right there. Or, just as good, on the left-hand side, on the bottom, there's a little blue bar and a little bell and a button. It says New Job Alerts. Now, I don't know about you, but in the past, when I've done a job search and I've wanted to get alerts when new jobs were coming out, you'd have to sign in to like Indeed, create a login with them, and then turn on notifications. And then your email just gets bombarded by tons and tons of messages from them, and it just becomes overwhelming. This, oh, and the worst part about that is going back to the website and trying to tell it to stop can be kind of hard sometimes. This is easy. If you want to save this search and get alerts when other jobs pop up in this search, all you do is click on the little button here and switch it to on. As long as you're signed into your Gmail, it will let you switch that button to on, and then you'll get notifications when new jobs are detected. When you're done and have found your job and you don't need those notifications anymore, you just come back, click on the button, turn it off, and it stops. It's that easy. You don't have to worry. You don't have to try to scroll through looking for settings everywhere, trying to figure out how to make this stop because it's driving you crazy. Click the button, turn it on, click the button, turn it off. Plus, it will show you what alerts you have set up in the same area up here where it has it saved. There's an alerts area. And you can have multiple alerts. Maybe you're looking for jobs as a clerk, jobs as a supervisor, and jobs as a teacher. So you have all three of those alerts on there, and you can turn them all off, turn one of them on, any combination thereof. So a lot of options available to you using Google's job searching site. Again, if you're just tuning in and you're not sure how to do that, you type in a Google search the job that you're looking for. You add the phrase jobs near me, let it search. When the little box comes up in your search, click that you want to see the other jobs, and then it'll take you to this site right here. So definitely worthwhile. I like it. I find it really easy, and people who I have helped use this search have also said, yeah, that's so much easier than the old way. So please, if you get a chance, try this out, see if it works well for you. Okay, I'm going to stop the screen share for just a moment. Are there any questions on what we've covered so far as searching for a job goes? Those are some of the best tips that I can give you right now, other than keep trying, don't give up. There's jobs out there, and there's always jobs popping up. Don't be afraid to check Facebook if you have Facebook. There are some groups here in Gallup that also post job openings all the time, so feel free to look at that. And then just go to the website and apply for any jobs that pop up on the website. A lot of local people who own businesses here in town also have job openings. Many of them will just say, come to the door or email or call us if you're interested. Especially right now, there's not a whole lot of person-to-person contact. So if you see a sign on the, go around, see if you see signs on doors, or call around. Don't be afraid to do that. Major companies like McDonald's, Walmart, places like that, you're going to have to apply online. But if places like Sammy C's or Pee Wee's or places like places that we go to all the time around town are hiring. Most of those are just going to be, yeah, talk to us, give us a call, send us your resume. But you won't know unless you try. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about resume writing now. So I'm going to go back into share mode. All right, we're going to close off our searching page here. And we're back at the El Portal page. And remember I was saying we're going to get back to this section here on resumes? Well, now's that time. Writing a resume can be a difficult thing for some people. I think we just find it hard to talk about ourselves. And it's understandable. Nobody really likes to sit and talk about themselves, but that's what's necessary when you write a resume. And a lot of us are just like, where do I begin? How do I start this? This section on the El Portal website is a great starting point. I highly recommend starting here if you're stuck. Now, if you know what you're doing and you just need a good template, I'll tell you how to get there too. But if you have no idea or you just really want to put in a lot of effort, this is where I would go. First thing, just like the other two sections, they do have a live resume expert, someone you can talk to live, ask questions, type in, hey, what do you think about this? Should I have this section in my resume? Those are types of questions that the resume expert can definitely answer for you. And I do want to mention that the people who are doing the live chat on these, they are hired by this company called BrainFuse to work in a call center, and they're picked because of their knowledge in this area. So their job is to answer questions. That's what they get paid for, full time. So it's not like you're just contacting somebody who's in their living room doing this on their spare time. These are actual professionals. So, make good use of this. This is free. It's a resource. Why not? Now, maybe you don't want to talk to somebody live, but maybe you really want somebody to take a look at your resume and let you know what they think. Well, there is the Resume Lab, which is right here. And when you use the Resume Lab, it actually allows you to submit your resume. But again, you have to have that login. Any of these live things, you have to create a login on their website. But once you do, you will have access to all of this. And all you do is upload your resume, send it in. It even allows you to add in, if you want them to look at something specific, you can type that in and then they'll look specifically at that. And then within 24 hours, they say they'll get back to you. I've had a couple people who have utilized this and said, yes, they got back to me the very next day. So it's free. Why not take advantage of it? The other resources that are listed here are helpful. The templates, of course, if you want to find a pattern for how to set up your resume. Maybe you just don't know how to even arrange it. Well, these are templates you can download. A template is pretty much just a skeleton. So they send you a document that you open up on your computer, and all the categories are listed down that you need to fill in. And it's almost like fill in the blank. Not the best, but if you're struggling and not sure what to do, it's a great way to kind of get you going, and then you can always improve it from there. So there's three types of resumes. There's the chronological resume format, the combination resume, and the functional resume. And it gives you a brief description of what each one is. You can also just click on it and download the template and see if it's going to work for you personally or not. But even then, you might look at that and say, I don't know which of those I want or which will be best for me. Well, the next button might be the one you want to click on, and that's Resume Resources. So Resume Resources takes you to different places on the internet to help you with this. Now there's your 3 templates again at the very top, so you can find them here. This also adds a military resume template. I know a lot of you military folks out there come back after serving our country, and thank you very much for your service. But you struggle sometimes because you're not sure how to translate what you've done in the military into the real life work that you want to get into. So this military resume template might be a great way for you to organize the things that you did in the military and translate it into real world skills. But if you go down a little further, there's a lot of links here that are just for you military people. How about that? This website will take you to a military skills translator, which will help you say, I used to work on aircrafts. How can I translate that into something I can do in my civilian life? And it'll, take you through how to word things, how to explain things. And it's really just a great resource. In fact, all of these sites here are great resources. Now, for you non-military people, there's some stuff here for you too. Don't feel left out. We do have the Career One-Stop Resume Guide. And I like the Career One-Stop Resume Guide because it's kind of a how-to. Whoa, that did not load right. Let's refresh that. There we go, that's much better. So this is a great place to go to if you have questions on, what should a cover letter look like? What should I include in my resume? Has a little something for everything. There's even some things on job searching, networking, finding jobs. So it's not just resumes here, but resumes is a big part of it. So you can click on the resume guide, and it'll take you through some really great information on, why you need a resume. What are some great strategies? How to write your resume, how to market your resume. These are just some really almost like a frequently asked questions for resume writing. So great website to check out, and there's a lot to find here. Or you might find this one helpful, is the free resume writing tutorial. This one's my favorite. This is produced by the global, what is it called? I forget, it's GCF, it's something global. But it's a really great adult resource website. And in this section, it's all about resumes. So these are mini lessons that you can take and read through, and there's also little videos that you watch with it. It's almost like taking a course on resume writing. Let me just show you an example here. So I'm going to click on this first one that says why you need a resume. So it gives you an explanation of what the resume is for, why you need it. There's a short video to watch about it. Again, it takes you down to some more information. And then when you get to the bottom, there's examples of what you're doing. They review. Sometimes they give you questions to answer, resources in this case. So it's like taking a class on resume writing that you go at your own pace with. In fact, when I say it's like a class, I really mean that, because see the 1, 2, 3, these are all lessons that are specific things relating to resume writing. And when you get down to the very bottom, the last thing there is a resume writing quiz. And I actually took the quiz just to see what it's about. Just to test to see if you've picked up everything that you need to from the upper area. And it's really interesting because it'll give you a good sense of, did I learn this stuff? And you can always go back and reread these things. Again, this is if you have time to put in and you really want to, do it right. Go through this little course here. I promise you, when you're done, you're going to feel a lot more confident about resume writing because you're going to have all sorts of information on what's good, what's bad, and everything in between. So these are under the resume resources on the Job Now page on El Portal. Last thing I'm going to show you on here is the optimal resume. An optimal resume is like a resume writing website. I don't know if you've ever used a resume writing site before. They're great. I've seen a few. And the wonderful thing is that it takes you through the whole process of resume writing. It almost writes it for you on the website. All you got to do is click here, answer questions, fill in a few things, and then at the end you have this magical resume that pops out. And all these sites say, oh yeah, it's free to build, free to build, free to build, free resume. What they don't tell you is it's free to build, but it's not free to download. When you get to the end, after you've done all that work and you have this resume that you're in love with, they tell you, okay, if you want to print this or send this, you need to pay $2 for 1 week access, or $10 for a month, or whatever it is. It's kind of disappointing. I've tried one of those sites once just to check it out, and I made a beautiful resume, but then I couldn't use it because there was that charge. Now, if you're willing to invest a couple bucks to use it and make a good resume, hey, that's great. Feel free. But if you're not really willing to spend anything on that, you want to stick to what you know. Optimal resume here on this site is almost the same as those things. It's not as nice, not as fancy, but it does the same job. When you go to it, again, you have to have a login to be able to go in and use it. It will ask you some questions to help you decide how you want to arrange your resume. It'll ask you about the functional or chronological. Oops, I think I clicked on something. Oh yeah, I clicked on it. And so it takes you through the whole process. Gives you some areas where you just have to click and then you type into the area. So you're not actually having to put in your own stuff to build it. It's built for you. You're just filling in the blanks by clicking and typing. And then at the end, you get this nice resume that you can use for free. You don't have to pay anything. You can download it. You can send it. You can email it. Whatever you want, it's yours. So definitely a good resource. If you're just looking for a nice template and you don't really need all the other stuff, 2 places that you can look. If you have access to Microsoft Word, they have a template wizard, and I'm going to show that to you. Let me pull it up, and then it'll start sharing again. All right, let me switch screens here. So this is Microsoft Word, and when you go to the File area and click on New, right here, it allows you to search for templates. So if I type in resume, okay, my search isn't working right now, but typically when you come here and search, it will pull up all sorts of different resume templates that you can use. And some of them are fancy, some of them are simple, some of them have colors, some of them don't. But the point is there's a lot that you can choose from and use that as your template. Okay. Let me close that. Now, if you don't have Microsoft Word, don't fret because there are other options here. So just a sec. Again, if you have a Gmail account, when you click on the apps button in your Gmail account here on the upper right hand corner, and you click on Drive, it takes you to your Google Drive, which is basically your cloud service that you get with Google. Under the New button, if you go to Google Docs, Google Docs is a free typing program that you get just for having a Gmail account. And just like Microsoft Word, they do have templates. So you can search for resume templates. Oh, mine's not showing you templates, I'm sorry. Give me just a sec here. We'll start this over. There we go. So you go to Google, you go to New, Docs, Templates. And then it shows you the different kinds of templates that they have available. And mine is the account you're looking at is a premium Google account that they give us through the city. But when you use a free version, one of the things that pops up here is resumes. And there's about 4 different types of resumes that you can choose from. And all you do is you click on the one that you want to use, and then it brings up the template for you, and you just fill it in. It's really simple to use. The other great thing about using Google, if you want to do the resume on Google, it automatically saves it for you into your Drive, which means if you're working on it at home and then you want to work on it somewhere else, all you got to do is sign into your Gmail account, open up Drive, it'll be there anywhere in the world, anywhere you have access. Which also means that if you're someplace and you need to print it right away, you can just sign into your Gmail, open it, print it, and then give it to somebody if you need to. So it's always accessible. It's just one of the advantages of using Google Docs and Google Drive to save it. Okay, I know I've given you quite a bit of information today, but I hope this is all going to be helpful. And again, if you have questions about any of this, feel free to contact me. My name's Marcos. I'm the technology trainer here at the library. I can answer your questions over the phone. We can do a Zoom chat if we need to. I can, share my screen and walk you through some things. If you just want me to look over something, feel free to send that to me as well, and I'll be happy to look things over if you need. I know it's kind of tough right now that we're not open and we're not able to work together in the same way, but I still want you to know that I am available to help. We'll find a way to help you some way, somehow. But I am here. You can contact me through the library and call the main phone line, 863-1291. Ask for me, Marcos. You can email me directly. My email is libtrain@gallupnm.gov. Or you can always contact us through Facebook as well. If you're watching us live on Facebook, You can leave comments on the bottom area if you want, or you can always message us on Facebook, and they'll make sure I get it. So, however works best for you, please feel free to contact me. Thank you for joining us today. Check out our other classes that we have. There's a lot saved on YouTube and Facebook on different technology things. So if you need help with word processing or spreadsheeting, making spreadsheets or whatever it might be, take a look at our videos. And if there's something you need that we haven't put out yet, let me know. I'll be happy to add that on as one of our future videos. So again, thank you. Good luck out there, and we'll catch you next time.